Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome back to another episode of the Dyson Sphere program. Yes, program. Alright, so we are back and we basically want to get stone, copper, and I think that's it online today. So what that's going to consist of is basically getting some smelters. We need 2 sets of smelters for stone. So I'm going to be doing kind of the same thing that I did over here, where, you know, but I think I'm going to do it a little bit different. Actually, I can't do it different yet because we don't have splitters, so forget that. I'm not going to be doing it different at all. It's going to be exactly the same as this, and let's just make sure, let's see what we have. Okay, we don't have any smelters right now, so let's go ahead and get some of those. It looks like I can't make anything. So I'll take some copper. Let's get some of these. Let's get some of these. All this stuff is getting backed up too. We don't have any. Another thing that we need is we need to get storage over here, so that way this stuff can just continuously run. We don't have any of that yet. We do actually have enough storage containers though, so we can actually get started on that. So I'm gonna put, I think. Yeah, we'll put 1 on each side for right now, and then we only need two of these sorters because we have 2 on for each of these, and I know what the sorter does.
It will automatically.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually put 3 though.
The receiving facility are bridged.
Put 3 on both sides. Ah, shoot, we're out of sorters now too. All right. Make 20 of those then, and I also need power over here, so let's get that. There we go. And what is happening? Oh wait, it didn't connect? I could have sworn it connected. Okay, there we go. Okay, and we're still not producing enough power either, so we're going to need some more of these wind turbines, and I wish I could move faster than this. Alright, so let's place 1 there, just place all of these that I have. There we go, and that should, I think, be enough. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, 100% satisfaction now. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Okay, we have these conveyors now, or the sorters now. So yeah, as you can see, we only needed 2, and that's because we have 2 on. So 2 on, 2 off is always a good amount. But in this case, we have 2 on, 3 off. So it's going to be able to keep up with this pretty regularly. Alright, so that's going to be continuously going now until the storages are full. So that's great. And then, I guess, we just need to get some of these. And I'm going to produce as many as I can right now. It's not that many. I think it's probably because we don't have enough stone, so let's head over here. And check it now. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, that's going to be plenty. It's going to be more than enough. But that's exactly what this game is about, is producing more than enough. So, that is what we will be doing. And the other thing is too is that I was kind of thinking about it off camera. The way that this is working isn't actually fantastic. What we should actually do is we should be having a splitter on this side, so that way it's splitting for both sides, and then we have basically this one taking from one, and then this one taking from the other, and same here, and so on. So this isn't actually very efficient, but there's nothing we can do about it right now because we don't have the splitters. And as you can see, it's not efficient because this one is now not getting anything, because it's not making it through the 3 sorters. Okay, so we're kind of producing less. That makes it so that we're producing less magnets, right? Isn't that what we're producing here? Magnets, yes. That's fine. Okay, so we've got some smelters now. So I think all that we need for this is 3. I could be wrong though. We might get another one. Okay, in, and then we set these all to copper ingots. And then we have the outs on this side. And then we have storage. And we are going to need 3 off, because we have 3 on. To just make sure we keep up with it all. And let's see here, is there anything else? It's actually looking like, now that could be just due, if we take this out. No, it looks like we actually might need another smelter for this one. So, what that's going to then mean is we're going to then have to either, like, there's kind of 2 options. We can wrap this around, or we can get another storage container. I think I'm just going to wrap this conveyor around, so that way we can place more of these sorters. And so... and this will be making that. And how are we doing on... okay, we're gonna need some more. We need more power! Alright, so what I was kind of talking about is we now bring this around, just like this. And then we have, you know, maybe 2 more sorters on this side, just to keep up with the flow. Probably only need 1, maybe. Yeah, definitely 1, just because we have 4 on, and now we have 5 off. But we might even need another smelter. Maybe, it's hard to say. Well, we'll leave this one running for a period of time. We'll see what happens. So on the stone one, it's going to look kind of similar to this one, and so let's get, yeah, I think let's get the smelters on this side. Or actually, do I want to... I think I want it on this side, actually. Okay, so these smelters are going to be producing stone, glass, stone again, and then glass. Let's extend that conveyor just a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna need some more of these. Let's just produce 10 of them. Okay, so we get 1 in, 3 in, 4 in. Then we're going to need 2 conveyor belts again on this side. So 1 conveyor there. And another conveyor starting right there. And I need more conveyors. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up some iron. We're having some as you can see, we're having some electrical problems. It's really not able to keep up with it at all anymore, so let's just make quite a few of those. And now we can make these conveyors. Okay, and we're gonna need some more sorters too. Two storage containers. How's that fabricating going? Okay, we're starting to make those wind turbines. Alright, let's start placing those, so that way we know we have more electricity. Alright, there we go. So all of those are placed now. And so I can imagine that our energy is pretty good. It's really close though, so we actually might want to get some more of those. Oh, and it looks like I need some coal. We don't have any fuel. Alright. Well, I can do that. There we go. That's why we wanted to make sure that coal was the first thing that we did. So that way we don't have to worry about energy. It'd be very nice when we can actually automate this sort of manufacturing and we just have tons of wind turbines. But currently we are unable to do that. And actually we should maybe look at the technology now too. Let's activate that. Cue that. And we can't really do that yet. There's also upgrades. So these upgrades we can also do. So we'll uncue that. We can't do anything with that. Not anything with that yet either. We don't have any of those matrix cores. Okay, so I need 10 of these and 10 of those. Okay. Okay, we finally have these sorters back. Let's get these all... Oh, whoops. Ah, shoot. That is not how I wanted it. Okay. Let's fix that. There we go. And we only need 2 right now, so I'll just place 2 on both. Alright, and we have a lot of wind turbines left, so let's place these. I think I'm going to place them all right back here where the coal's coming from, because I'm not really planning on making too much on this side. This will be plenty. I have never seen so many wind turbines in one place. There we go. Alright, so how's our power doing now? Oh yeah, 100% satisfaction. Basically double what we're consuming. That's what we want. Okay, and so this is looking good now too, as you can see. And it actually seems like this sorter is able to keep up with these two on sorters, as you can see, because they're going a distance of 2, because it takes a little bit more time. So this sorter is actually able to keep up with it. That's kind of cool. So there's a little bit more math that goes into it. Very fancy. Alright, so we have that, so we can actually start making those the electromagnetic cube things, but I'm not going to start that yet. We are still working on some things. Actually, wait. No, wait. We finished what we wanted to do, what our quest was today. Okay, so I guess we'll move on then. So basically what we have now is we have this matrix lab. And this matrix lab essentially allows us to make...
Matrix lab. You can use it to make super matrices or research technologies that require them to evolve. The super matrices are the source code of the center brain for maintaining the homeworld. You can upload as many super matrices to the center brain as possible. You can be benefit to unlock more actual world technologies by operating the homeworld simultaneously.
Okay, so like he said, these matrices basically allow us to do research. So as you can see, if we were to click on one of these, we'll say we want to produce matrix, you'll see that it needs magnetic coils and then also circuit boards. And it will create one electromagnetic matrix. And if we go back, then research, it will, consume these electromagnetic matrices and create hashes, and that hash, which is basically just information, will then be transmitted into a new research. So for these, I'll show you. So if we go back to technologies, and we, let's say, go to this one, it requires 100 matrices. So we would have to produce 100 matrices for this research to be finished. And as you can see, that equals around 18,000 hashes. And so that is essentially what that means. Now, there's also other ones that require, and of course now I'm struggling to find them. Okay, for instance, this one, as you can see, this requires 2 different ones. I haven't actually gotten to this point on my own yet, but essentially this is an energy matrix, which is a more, I guess, dense information matrix thing. Yeah, so it basically, I'm guessing, consumes or has more data within it. So that's essentially what this is, and I think we might be able to get started on producing the necessary materials for this. It takes some time though, and it takes a lot of work to get all of this stuff. And also, like I said before, the things that I really want is the splitter. So I'm actually going to activate this. We don't have these matrices cores automated yet, but you can make them yourself. And as you can see, we can only make 71 right now. I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can get 100 made up. So I'm just going to take some of this, take some of this, and I think that's probably going to be good. No. What else do we need? Oh, we need magnets. Right. Okay, so that will be good now. So I don't know how many I'm making right now, but that's probably a good amount. Alright, so those will be making in the background while we get all this stuff set up. And the other thing that's unfortunate right now is we don't have any sort of, foundations. We can't start building over the ocean yet. We can't do any of that sort of thing. So we're gonna have to stick to this land mass over here, which is a little annoying. So now that we have this assembling machine, I can show you guys what this does too. This essentially makes you can make it make certain buildings, and you can also make it you know, produce certain components. So in this case, we want it to be producing magnetic coils, and we want it to be producing circuit boards. Now, for each one of these, well, this one requires magnets, and this one requires iron, but each one requires copper, and this is the reason why the splitter is kind of needed, because you're going to need to split the copper in half from that conveyor all the way over here. And you can't do that any other way. Well, actually, you can do it another way, but I don't like it. It's basically, you have to like set up multiple conveyors here. So we would set up, you know, 2 conveyors going this way and such. And basically, you know, when we set up that second conveyor, we would then put a sorter from here onto each one of these conveyors, and that will do the exact same thing. The only problem is that the sorter that goes over the conveyor belt to the other conveyor belt is going to take longer, which means that that conveyor isn't going to be supplied with as many copper ingots. So that's one problem with that method. Yeah, I don't know if it's really that big of an issue. Probably not. But I kind of want it to be nice and neat, so I really want to use the splitter. That's basically what it comes down to. And I also need to produce a couple more of these, because we're going to be, you know, doing a lot of assembling. So if we want... Okay, so I now need to do a little bit of thinking with how much of these matrix cores do we want per minute. And I don't remember... Okay, so it takes 3 seconds to produce 1 electromagnetic matrix core in one of these matrix labs. So if we want it to be producing, let's say, 1 per second, then we need 3 of these being produced. And actually, if we look at this, I don't think there's a limit to how many matrix cores... Yeah, there's no time. Like, you can basically, as long as you have enough sorters and stuff like that going into the matrix lab, then you're set. So that's fine then. So I think... Oh, the other... that's another thing. Something else that I'm going to show you guys too, which is, I think, kind of cool, is another thing that is kind of involved with this. But that's going to be for probably another episode. So, alright, I will come back as soon as all these assemblers are done, and also we have the splitter. Okay, so guys, welcome back. We just finished the logistics thing, part 2, logistics system 2. So we now have the splitter. We also have the upgraded sorter too. The upgraded sorter we might use, we might not though. It's kind of helpful for longer distance. Other than that, it's not necessarily needed. So we're still making the assemblers that we need, but we can get started now on the actual splitting of the iron. I mean the copper. And also actually shoot, we need more conveyors. Okay, never mind. We will be back in a quick second. Alright, so guys, welcome back. I have decided to get rid of this side of the conveyors. I kind of realized with how quick these storage containers fill up, it doesn't actually matter that much about this. So, you know, this is basically going to almost always be backed up, but that's fine. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to get some conveyors. Now, something I need to think about is what are we looking at for how many conveyors we have on and how many conveyors we have off. For this, our max quantity or our max amount that we can do per second is always going to be limited to these 3 sorters. Now, because we have a buffer, which is a storage, you don't actually have to worry too much about this. And I'll be honest, I don't know. No, wait. Yeah, so basically our max quantity that we can do per second is always going to be limited based off of how many we have on and off in the production of the copper ingots. So as you can see, we have 4. Now this, I should say that this mine here isn't actually as efficient as it could be. We could be producing way more iron, copper than what we are producing, but with what we have set up right now, this is how much we have. So basically we can only stay with 3 sorters, but I'm actually going to go up to 4 just because we have the buffer. So because we have the buffer, I'm able to do a little bit of an extra one. So that is going to be... Ah, shoot. I hate how the conveyors work in this game sometimes. Like, why does it not just understand when you're connecting conveyors, you want them to all go the same way? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we will have 1 there and 3 here. And I don't know if this conveyor is actually going to be able to keep up with this or not. We'll find out. It's kind of a trial. So then we need to split it. And the really nice thing about this game is that this...
with 4 directions. No. It can split the passing cargo or balance the cargo on multiple conveyor belts. The splitting speed depends on the conveyor belt. I thought I turned you off. Speed. Use the tab key to switch.
Is there any way I can skip this guy?
And click it to set priorities and filters.
Okay, so what he was kind of talking about is, as you can see, we have this splitter, and it's 4-directional, and it also works as a merger too, so you can actually set up, you know, multiple conveyors going in, and then we have like 1 conveyor going out. Now, if we go into this the splitter, there we go. So now you can actually set up a filter, and so let's say, you know, because we only have copper ingots, you know, we want to filter for copper ingots. Now this is kind of useless because all we are dealing with on the splitter is copper ingots. If we were dealing with iron as well, then that's a different story. If we had iron coming in this way and we wanted iron to go out that way and not go out this way, then we would set up a filter and such that way. Now I don't know why you would ever want that. I don't know. It sounds kind of silly, but that is essentially how that works. Then, okay, so in our instance, so we want 2 conveyors going out this way. And I don't like actually how that looked. Okay. So just like that, we now have 2 conveyors that are being absolutely supplied with this copper. Now this is going to be transported all the way down here, and you might think this is a massive waste of conveyors, and you'd be right, but this is what we're going to have to deal with because of the land situation, so it's a little unfortunate. Now I did build 10 assemblers. I'm thinking that we do 5 on 5, and I have no clue how to sort this, like, because this is the grid for this is going to be awful. But we're going to do our best. I think we might have to run it this way. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to make sure there's a pretty sizable gap in between these 2 rows. And I'll show you why in a second. Oh, these are not going to be perfectly aligned. That's okay, it's just because of the sphere. Oh, wait, did I put... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I guess these ones are just closer because of how the grid worked out. Okay, so now, essentially what I was talking about is these conveyors. We're going to have a conveyor that's going this way, and this is actually going to be the off. So this production is going to be producing from, you know, this side is in, this side is out, and so both of these will be going this way, just like that. So we'll have off, off, off. So there we go. Now, as you can see, these are actually kind of extended sorters. So this is actually going to take a little bit longer. I maybe could have placed these closer together, but I think it's going to be fine. I don't think that the production of these is going to be halted based off of these sorters, so I think it's fine. Alright, so then we need to have... We're going to actually have 2 conveyors running here because we are going to have 2 materials. And it's really important that you keep these 2 materials on separate conveyors, because if one gets backed up, then you're kind of screwed. Because if one gets backed up and they're all on the same conveyors, then what we're going to have is, let's say you need iron magnets on this side, and you know, so let's say, you know, this machine is looking for magnets, but all of these machines have taken off the magnets and they're being supplied with enough copper ingots. Then that's going to mean that these are going to just the copper is just going to pass, and they're just going to take the magnets. Now this machine's not able to work because it doesn't have any magnets. So what you actually need to do is you need to set up 2 conveyors right here, and this will make it so that you're grabbing from both conveyors, and one conveyor is going to supply the magnets and the other conveyor is going to supply the copper. And this solves the problem entirely of having, you know, too many resources on one. That's not the resource that you need. And also it's kind of nice because for this assembly we only need 2 resources. We don't need something like 3 or 4 or 5 or anything like that, so it keeps it kind of nice too. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this side too. Just like that. And I'm actually going to need some more sorters. So the other thing is too is that if you wanted to make sure that everything was being supplied at the you know, the max amount of speed that you can do, then you can put the sorter Mark 1 on the first conveyor right here, because that's going to be a grid length of 1. And then the next thing you can do is you can put the sorter Mark 2 on the second conveyor, and then that'll make it so that all of the supplies are being supplied at the exact same rate, because the sorter Mark II moves at double the speed. That being said though, for this first production area it's not that important, so we're just going to use the Mark 1, and it's cheaper to build, so that is all I care about right now. So that's that side set up. Now we have to get this side set up too. And I'm actually going to delete this for right now. I don't really like having excess materials beyond what you can actually reach, because then those materials are never going to be used. Okay, so what I'm thinking, and it's gonna depend. Oh, okay, so now in all actual seriousness, it doesn't matter on which side is which. But I think I'm going to have it so the copper is on the inside of both of these. But in all honesty, it just doesn't matter. You can do it either way. So we are going to, and actually, I just realized, this is actually a waste of materials, me doing the splitter right here. So we're actually going to get rid of all of this. It's a waste of materials because we're using double the conveyors for this distance. And because of how long this distance is, it's kind of a big issue. I also kind of want to try to make this nice and straight. So we're going to go right here. We might need some more conveyors. And right here. And then we'll set up the splitter right here, because that's not as long of a distance. And connect it in there. Then connect this out here. We're going to need some more conveyors. You almost never can get enough conveyors. Once you think you have enough, you're lying. You don't actually have enough. You never have enough conveyors. The nice thing too is conveyors can go over the water, so you don't have to build foundations or anything like that, so very nice and handy. Oh, apparently, oh, that's just how the grid worked out. The grid for this game is a little funky because it has to follow the sphere of the planet. Okay, and it looks like we're going to need some more coal pretty soon. Alright, so now it's time to get this stuff set up. And this stuff doesn't really matter how you do it. So, we're just going to place a conveyor here, conveyor right here, and I'm going to need some more sorters. Okay, so for the first one, let's get... I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't matter, it does matter. Theoretically, you still do have the on and off issue going on. So, and in fact, that actually could be something that might happen with this. So, theoretically, we have 5 assemblers. Well, we have 10 assemblers total, but we have 5 that are going to be using the iron ingots, and we have 5 that are going to be using the magnet. And that right there means that we theoretically should have 5 sorters on and 5 sorters off. And the off area would be over here, and the on area is over here. Now, I'm not going for exactly 100% efficiency with this factory. I just want this factory to get up and running so that way we can create matrix cores really quickly and fast. So that way we can just get through the research really quick. So I'm not really worried about it right now. I think it'll be fine. We'll go for 100% efficiency later on when we get more logistic stuff and, you know, all that good stuff. Alright, so we have plenty of conveyors now. So let's bring this out here, and I want this to be kind of close because it looks neater that way. Okay, so then at this point, we need to go up. Oh, and actually, I guess I missed that area. Missed where I needed to go up. So let's go up. There we go. And then over. What is going on? What is going on with that? No, that's not how I wanted it. Alright guys, so we we now have everything being supplied to these assemblers. Now it's time for the power and things like that. Now also, while all this was building as well, we got another tutorial tip. I was talking about basically the production panel, or statistics panel, and this will essentially tell you all sorts of production information and all that good stuff. So as you can see, we're like, you know, consumption and also production for iron ore is amazing right now. Whatever we are producing for iron ore, we are consuming and turning into iron ingots. So that's essentially what that's telling us. Now for copper ore though, it's not as great, and that is because we have kind of an over amount of copper right now. So that's essentially what's going on there. And currently we are not using any iron ingots or copper ingots, so as you can see, the production is all that's blue and all the orange is non-existent because we don't have any assemblers using them currently. Once we get all these assemblers powered on and you know, set up, then all that stuff will be filled out. But I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I just kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit of the intro to the assembling of this sort of factory. In the next episode, we are going to be setting up the matrix cores and the matrix labs. We're going to set up multiple of these. We're going to need multiple of them to be able to produce how many cores I want to make. And we might have to do some other sort of playing around with this as well to kind of get it a little bit more efficient, so that way we're actually using all of the assemblers. But for right now, it should be fine for the next episode. So look forward to that, and also these episodes are going to be coming out a little bit more frequently right now because the Universe Sim season just ended, so waiting on the next update for that, and then we will get back to it, of course. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode. If you guys like this episode, hit that like button. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, anything of the sort, please leave them in the comments down below. And as always, if you guys are brand new to the channel and you guys like what you saw, please do hit that subscribe button. I would also like to thank the Patreons that support this channel, and if you too would like to become a Patreon, then you can go ahead and check it out in the description down below. Thank you all so very much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next episode.